So with Borderlands 3 so close to release, I'm expanding my horizons and jumping in full force to this game. I'm gonna make videos, guides, discussions, whatever I can because boy do I want to. So please bear with me as I take my baby steps into becoming a Borderlands YouTuber. I already made one video to essentially dive headfirst into this franchise that I love. It's a timeline video covering the whole series. Pretty much everything I could think to include is in it, so please check that out as a lot of work and effort went into making that. But anyway, I wanted to make this video talking about Ava, the Sirens, and the role they might play. For having been in the game since its release, Sirens still remain one of the biggest mysteries within the Borderlands universe. They're tied to the Iridians, their weird rules that they play by. So much is there, yet so little has been uncovered. One of the few and only things that we know about Sirens is the fact that only 6 can exist at any given time. And if you've been keeping count, with the introduction of Amara and Tyreen in Borderlands 3, that brings our total Siren count up to 6. You've got Lilith, Commandant Steele, Angel, Maya, Tyreen, and Amara. But if you really have not been paying attention whatsoever, 2 of them are dead. So the final count is all the way back down to 4. So 2 Sirens exist in the universe we've yet to meet. Or maybe just 1. If you've been scrounging through as much information as possible about the game before its release, then you likely would have come across Ava. She's been seen a few times throughout the trailers, usually standing next to Maya. But for all those people who aren't consuming all of the information in the known universe about the next game, let's talk about Ava. I should preface this by saying I am by no means a lore expert on Borderlands. I've been a huge fan of the games for a long time, but it's not until recently that I started getting super into the nitty-gritty. So I may end up getting things wrong, but hopefully I'll try to keep that to a minimum. So Ava, by the looks and sounds of it, is Maya's new apprentice. Maya, of course, being the playable Vault Hunter from the second game. While no official statement has directly called out the fact that Ava's a Siren, Occam's razor points to the most obvious. She by no means appears to be a master of her craft, which seems to be the reason for Maya's training. In the artwork released for the Mask of Mayhem, we see Maya handing over a book, which are most notably her class mods from the game. And might I add, I love her design, and part of me wishes she was a playable character. She looks like she has that amount of snotty attitude that I absolutely love in characters. Sorry Amara, nothing against you, but in the words of a wise 13-year-old, she's my main squeeze. We don't know where Ava and Maya met or how they met, but we do know one of the locations we'll be visiting inside of Borderlands 3. On August 12th, the official Borderlands Twitter released a short video showcasing the planet of Athenas and what we could expect while there. For those of you who didn't take the time to find and listen to the echo recordings scattered across the land of Pandora in the second game, Athenas is the planet where Maya was raised by the Order of the Impending Storm. They're a group of monks who find sirens and protect them? It's a bit unclear. Originally, the echo recordings made it sound as though the monks were simply using Maya as a figure to be feared so they could get away with whatever. It was ultimately the reason Maya killed Brother Sophus and fled to Pandora in search of its vault to seek more answers about her siren origin. Ironically, that seems to have gone completely opposite to what was intended. Answers weren't found whatsoever within the time frame of the game. And just by looking at the Twitter video released, you'd question why she left Athenas in the first place in seek of answers, if this is what the place looks like. It looks like the holy grail of siren information and history, and oh my god, why would you leave this place for answers? Alien temples always lead to vast amounts of information. Maybe she's realized the error of her ways because we're going back. We don't know if this is where she meets Ava, if she's there to rescue her from the Order, or if she's simply bringing her here to bestow the knowledge she gained while on the planet. Either way, it wouldn't be a Borderlands game if the planet wasn't being invaded by some mega corporation. Maliwan seems to be the proprietor in this planet's takeover, setting up camp, barricades, and their own forces that must be dealt with. If there's a place that holds knowledge of sirens and vaults, Athena seems like the place to go. Based on the statues, this may be where sirens first originated from, and potentially where the Order creates sirens themselves. If Ava was housed here, the Order definitely has some shady going-ons. Getting 1 siren seems rare enough, but 2? That's already too many. In the Borderlands 2 Son of Cromrax DLC, we learn of siren hunters. In the mission, victims of Vault Hunters Captain Flint's son Sparky Flint hired various assassins to take out each of the Vault Hunters. Upon finding each of Sparky's assassins, they've each been killed. The one hired to kill Maya was Sophus's brother from Athenas.
Maya, you'll like this next dude. He's a siren tracker named Mordo Sophus, father of brother Steven Sophus, that dude you ganked back on Athenas. And boy, oh boy, is he just itching for vengeance.
By the end of it, we learned that someone is watching over us and had taken the liberty of killing each of the assassins and believed Maya had a more important role to play in the future. The popular belief is that Tanis is the one who killed each of them based on the vernacular that was used.
Dear Siren, though I find your physical attractiveness confusingly repulsive, I feel you will have an important part to play in the coming days. Knowing this, I elected to poison the Siren Hunters through various means I shan't go into detail about. Suffice to say, they involved a beer bottle and a straw made of anthrax. Sincerely, a friend. Huh. I'm attractive?
Either way, Siren Hunters do exist, and there is a direct tie to the order of the impending storm. Something else that I found interesting when digging through some of the information was Gearbox's staff's statement about how they like to keep things open-ended regarding some of the lore. Few things are set in stone, like for example the amount of sirens that can exist at any given moment. Certain things are not subject to change. But say for example how sirens are created, that's the more open-ended events. I, up until maybe a few days ago, thought that all sirens had to be born. Then I come to learn Angel wasn't born a siren, and gosh, my whole perspective was blown. Seeing Angel's picture on Jack's desk in the pre-sequel and seeing how people data mined the game for unused audio where it was stated Angel didn't get her abilities until she was about 5 or so is crazy. It's these small things that can absolutely throw a wrench into my ideas, and I don't know if I love it or hate it. Originally, I wasn't expecting there to be 6 sirens in the upcoming game because in my mind, if sirens were born, then we'd have a 10-year-old and a 5-year-old running around the story, and believe me, a 5-year-old wouldn't add much. I thought Ava looked a bit older than I initially thought her as, and that's probably because, yeah, she's not 10. But considering sirens can be anyone at any age, that leaves the door open for endless amounts of possibilities. Experimentation, transferring the powers, forcefully stealing someone's siren abilities. A popular theory amongst Borderlands fans is the idea that Tanis had been experimenting on herself trying to be a siren. Which, if she does become one, holy cow, will that be the greatest thing to ever happen in the history of the series. Based on how long she's been on Pandora, how much she's discovered, and if she was looking out for Maya's life, then Tanis seems a lot more than meets the eye. So then the question must be asked, what role are the sirens going to play? Because if you're telling me that we're getting not 1, not 2, but 3 new sirens, and we're going to Athenas, and sirens aren't going to play a huge role in this story, you'd be making a huge mistake, Gearbox. It's hard in my mind to picture getting 5 of the 6 sirens with as relevant as they appear to be. So let's, for the sake of argument, say the 6th siren gets introduced as well. What happens? Well, I don't know. I didn't make the game, nor do I have any sort of insider knowledge. What I'm hoping for is the relevance between sirens and Iridians revealed, their origin, why they exist, and if all 6 sirens can open some sort of special vault. The Calypsos seem like they've got something up their sleeves, and it doesn't look good for the sirens in general. Borderlands 3 just looks like it offers so much for everything, and I can't wait for its release come September. Anyway, so that was just a short video to talk about Ava, the sirens, and the potential role they might play. If you have any ideas or hopes you'd like to see, be sure to share your ideas in the comments below and let me know if there's any other videos you'd like me to make. In the meantime, I'll see you in the next video.